making headlines today.
Hillary Clinton sent her husband Bill to woo the Louisville crowds, but as WDRB's Lauren Smith explains, it was Bernie Sanders who packed the waterfront.
Bernie Sanders has almost no chance of winning the Democratic presidential nomination, but that did not keep thousands from coming here at Waterfront Park to feel the burn. They came to hear his anti-establishment, admittedly socialist message, and Bernie Sanders did not disappoint.
The issue of wealth and income inequality is the great moral issue of our time. It is the great economic issue of our time. It is the great political issue of our time, and together we will address that issue.
Sanders hit all the hot-button issues, including tuition-free college, single-payer health care, immigration reform, and a $15 an hour minimum wage.
We are going to create an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%.
And even in Kentucky, Sanders did not shy away from calling for an end to fossil fuels, but also says he will help workers who would lose their jobs.
That we provide $41 billion to help workers who might be dislocated.
His message resonated with his fans.
I think he is an idealist for sure, but I think he's bringing forth a lot of ideas we don't hear from the other candidates.
Why do you prefer him over Clinton?
I think he seems to be more honest. So that's what I'm looking for, transparency and honesty.
How's he pay for it?
Taxes, I believe, taxes, and like you said, the tax on Wall Street.
What we need and what this campaign is about is a political revolution.
But Sanders did not have Louisville all to himself. Former President Bill Clinton was also in town looking for votes for his wife. Stefan Johnson has that story.
President Bill Clinton was a little late to the rally here at the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage, but the crowd here did not seem to mind. The former president talked about Hillary Clinton's plan to raise middle-class incomes and continue work on health care reform.
How are you?
After several stops around town, President Bill Clinton finally makes his way to a rally at the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Bill Clinton.
And it appears to be better late than never as Mr. Clinton comes out to a familiar song and a happy group of supporters. His speech starts with a shout out to a Louisville legend.
I am glad to be in the home neighborhood of a man who became my friend about 20 years ago this year, Muhammad Ali. I'm glad to be here.
The former president then talks a little horse racing and the upcoming Kentucky Derby.
Two of the horses that are, at least so far, still in the rotation to run on Saturday are named Exaggerate and At Work. I recommend At Work.
After that, he's all business, explaining why he thinks Kentucky should support Hillary Clinton in the primary on May 17th.
So what Hillary wants to do is to take us back to real growth, to reduce inequality by building middle-class incomes, getting more jobs, and increasing upward mobility.
The Clintons are hitting Kentucky hard, and both voters and local politicians appreciate the attention.
I think it's great. They see Kentucky's going to be in play in the general election. Kentuckians love the Clintons. Of course, we voted twice for Bill Clinton. Hillary's got the package right now.
Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher also reminds voters of something they heard in the 90s. With Clinton, you get 2 for 1.
So I think, with Hillary at the top of the ticket, him as the future first dude, our country's in good shape.
The former president also says that Mrs. Clinton wants to help small businesses here in Kentucky and across the country. In West Louisville, I'm Stefan Johnson, WDRB News.
We've seen a lot of clouds.